Why is it every time you cook at home, every single piece of green turns to gray or brown? First, you take the best quality vegetable you can get, try to go to the farmer's markets. We got some really great Blue Lake beans here. And what I normally do is just pick off the kind of the stem end. And I really like to leave this little tip on here because I think it just makes a pretty visual presentation when you're done. Take a basket strainer like this. If you don't have a basket strainer, no problem, just throw them in boiling water. Boil the water first, very, very important. So I'm going to do it just by dropping the basket strainer right in there. Boiling water, you can see that it's on high. Now, one thing I want to say here is I do not salt the water. It's not wrong to salt the water, but I like to control my seasoning right at the end. I don't like to season now and then risk having too much salt or having guests in your home say, look, I'm really into a low sodium diet, and then all of a sudden, oops, and the salt's already in there. So big problem. So I like doing things very, very cleanly. So boiling water. So those are going to blanch in there. Now it has to go in boiling water because if you put it in water and then bring it to a boil, from cold to boil, it will immediately turn gray. You won't be able to control the cooking time as well, and it will be a bad situation. The other thing you do not want to do is cover a pot. That will take the green right out of it. So we're going to leave it open. We're going to put them in boiling water in a basket strainer like this, and then we're going to let them boil. In Europe, things are cooked al dente, which is the teeth, teeth, which is Italian. Al dente just means you can feel it. There's still a little bit of push when you bite into a pasta, or you bite into a bean, or you bite into a Brussels sprout. But the key factor here is it does not taste green and it does not go crunch. So properly cooking vegetables, in my view, is to take it just a little bit beyond what most American cooks are doing these days, which is what I call al crunche, and then take it a little bit beyond that. So these right now are going to take a few more minutes. So I'm going to go over here and we're going to start prepping. What we want to do actually is we're going to get a pan hot, and we're going to immediately show you how to work these beans. Now, okay, these are done. They've gone from a vegetative, sort of a little bit vegetative state, and they're now converted to sweet. You can see there's a slight like matte finish to them. They've changed the tone a little bit. Now the best way to taste and see if something's done, simply a little bit of bite like that. Perfect. They still have texture to them. They still have bite to them, but they've turned to sugar. Beautiful. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I've got a bowl of ice here. I'm going to go ahead. You can drop this right in here. That's one way to do it. It's very easy. Or you can just throw them right in the ice. But the easiest way to do it, if you're going to use them right away, is to just take this basket strainer and go ahead and throw them right in here. Now you have to move them around, make sure that they're getting, because they'll carry the heat. Now this does two things. Stops the cooking, just like that, stopped. Then it also shocks the color, so it sets the color. Now you have to work really hard to get the color out of these now. These are really, really set. They're ready to go. Now, one of the things I want to mention is most of the cooking is done right here. We were over here with that basket strainer. Most of the cooking is done right there. So I'm going to set this aside. I'm going to move to go ahead and bring my pan over. Give it a little wipe. You want a heavy bottom pan for this. It doesn't have to be a great olive oil. Remember, we're cooking with it, so we don't want to finish it. I'm going to throw some shallots in there. Keep those moving. Don't want them to burn. Shake, shake, shake. Now they're going to bubble. Now these if you have it too hot, they're going to burn and they're going to get bitter. So what you want to do is just kind of convert them. So I'm going to pull them on and off, move it over here, keep them rolling. Now some of the water is kind of bubbling out of them. Shallots, this mince, this fine, will cook very quickly. Plus they're going to cook in it. So we're going to take a little bit of the crunch out of it. Remember, we don't like al crunche. Now these are coming right out of the basket grill. There's going to be a little bit of water in there. I'm okay with that. I want to partially steam them, okay? There's a little bit in the water in there. It'll steam really quick and it'll get the heat driving up into the bean a lot faster. So if you undercook them in the basket strainer in the water and then you try to cook them in here, they're going to lose their color, and before they're cooked, they're going to turn and be seared. Okay? One little trick here. A couple of small knobs of butter. This is optional, but this just creams it out. Oops. Creams it out real nice. And we can't forget our seasoning. Just a little pinch of salt. There we go. Once the butter is melted, there's also a steaming process that happens there. These are done. There you go. Simple side of beans, ready for eating.